Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Music Den. I'm your host, Armando Venditti, otherwise known as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Can't get over that joke. And I am joined today by Mr. Bluebeard, otherwise known as Bill Schuster.
With the
How's it
color
going?
coordinated matching shirt.
Very much so. Very much so. Smoking, smoking. Really. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hoping that you are having a great day and that you're looking after one another and yourselves. And we want to welcome you back to another episode of Running Back to the 80s. We are looking at the year in question is 1983. We have each picked uh, seven songs from the top Billboard Hot 100 list. We have picked five top songs plus two honorable mentions for the years 1980 to 1989. And again, we are focusing on the year 1983. Now, again, Bill, just a quick question. Um, in picking this list, as you went through the years, did you find it like as you got near the end of the 80s, it was a little more difficult to pick a track or
Absolutely. Yeah. Here I have a wealth of riches to pick from. I mean, I could trade out all seven of my picks for seven I equally love. But yeah,
I
as we go later in the decade, it gets a little thinner.
yeah, I could not agree with you more. It was more difficult for me to as I got towards the end of the 80s, it was like,
But again, I
oh,
emphasize that's just talking about big chart hits, big pop
yes,
hits.
that's right.
Um, there were a lot of great albums and lesser hits that came out later in the 80s that just
That's right. That's right. And again, when you hear maybe my picks or Bill's picks, and you're thinking that, hmm, didn't that come out the year before? Reason for that is some of these albums came out at the tail end of 1982. So when they did hit the chart officially, it was 1983.
yeah.
But just so you know, it's not lost on us. But there you go.
Yeah, we're talking
Our
about the singles as opposed
singles.
to the albums. That's
Yes,
mostly.
yes, yes. All right. Now, as customary with these episodes, which we are having a blast doing,
Yes, we are.
crying and everything. Uh, as is customary with these episodes, being brought up properly by my mama, sorry, miss you, mama, love you dearly. Uh, it is customary for the co-host to go first. So, Bluebeard, take it away with your number five pick.
All right. Thank you, sir. If you could just give me time to realize my crime, let me
Woo-wee!
love instead.
Mm,
Oh,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
do, do, do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make
Make
me
me cry.
cry? Oh, yeah. That's
Woo!
right, folks. It's the Culture Club shirt.
And you notice how Bill has to pull it down.
Because it doesn't fit well. And it's the classic 80s, yeah, mid sleeve. Oh, yeah. All right, man. This Boy George in particular was obviously a very controversial figure in 1983.
Yes.
Before all that came about, though, this song hit the radio and nobody really knew anything about it. And it was like, who is this great new soul singer?
Yes. George
And
O'Dowd.
wow, this is such a great song. I mean,
Mm,
I still think this is their best. I dig a number of Culture Club songs, but Do You Really Want to Hurt Me is a masterclass in that, white boy soul, basically,
oh yeah.
that we talked about before. And yeah, obviously his androgynous image, as we can see by the shirt there, was very controversial and influential. I mean, the glam artists in the 70s had a certain influence and effect, but George was one of those people that took it to the next level. And it disturbed a lot of people,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
including some of my own family members that I won't call out by name, but let's just say that there were some discussions had back in those days.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, this again, as you often say, a good song is a good song, and this is more than a good song. This is a great song.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Best soul songs by anybody in the 80s. Ah.
Mm, mm.
And yeah, I can't match George's vocals, but by God, I'll try every time it comes on. Uh, yeah, and it's got to have that opening. There was a single version that just started out without the opening. It didn't have the "Give Me Time." It just went right into the "Do do do you really
Oh, it didn't
want?"
have the okay.
Yeah, which no, sorry, you got to have that opening.
Yeah, no,
It
that
sets
that
the whole
sets it
thing
up.
up. Yeah.
That sets it up. Yeah, it's like it's like Come On Eileen from Dexy's Midnight Runners, where it starts, the radio would only have like the bass intro, not the violin intro to
Mhm.
it. You're screwing up the song. Play the whole thing.
Now, there are exceptions, though. Another song from this year was Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran.
Mm.
I bought the album and I was irritated because the album version had this long instrumental opening. I think the single in that case was more punchy and effective because it just had that immediately the little laugh, the and boom went right into Dark in the City. Yeah,
Okay,
but that's a rare exception.
okay. Can I ask you a question?
Sure,
When you bought Rio, was it the Harvest release or was it the Capitol release?
probably the Capitol. I mean, this was early '83.
Okay,
This, yeah,
because a little side note, ladies and gentlemen, bear with us. Now, the Capitol release was a remixed version of the album. And what you heard on Hungry Like the Wolf was what they called the night version because it was like an extended mix. It had long instrumental sections to it with the bass that comes in before the verses come in, like like slapping on the bass. I love that version. I love that version of the album. I had the Capro version. I loved it. The Harvest version, ladies and gentlemen, had the the conventional tracks, like the conventional versions, the regular versions, but the Capitol version of Rio had the what they call the night versions, the extended mixes. I loved it, but I digress. Go on.
yeah. Well, neither one of us actually picked Hungry Like the Wolf, but
Yeah,
we've taken
that's.
4 or 5 minutes about the song already. So
I'm sorry. I'm
it's a
sorry. Go ahead.
bonus. There you go.
I'm
A
sorry.
cheat.
No cheat. Yeah, nice. No, but that's no. Do you really want to hurt me? Woo wee!
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, a little side note. One more quick tangent. Good luck. Bill's shirt, what he's wearing, is the cover of Color by Numbers,
Yeah.
released
There's
in 1983, featuring the hit singles Karma Chameleon, Church of the Poison Mind, Miss Me Blind, It's a Miracle. But the one track from Color by Numbers is the final track on the album, a ballad called Victims, which was released as a single in early 84. The album features performance vocals from Helen Terry on most of the album, the great Helen Terry, and Jermaine Stewart, who got his start on Soul Train of all places. But Victims, as a ballad, as the final track on the album, is my favorite track from uh, Color by Numbers. So there you go. There we go. All right. No, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. Now back to our regular schedule program. Now, my for number five pick, and this is hard. The Tubes with She's a Beauty, co-written by with Steve Lukather. Woo!
don't forget David Foster.
David Foster too, bastard. Anyways, step right up and don't be shy, because you will not believe your eyes.
She's right here behind the glass. You're gonna like her because she's got
Got
class.
class.
Oh man.
Oh, mm, mm.
It's basically Toto featuring Fee Waybill on vocals, but
Exactly. But don't
it's
fall in
great.
love. She's a beauty. She's one in a million girls. Why would I lie? Woo! I need a joint right now. That song is like pop perfection, pop and rock perfection. I do believe that Steve Lukather is on guitar on that, but
Oh yeah, all over this album basically.
ooh, it is perfection confection. That's my number five.
I love that whole album, outside inside. I have it behind me on the shelf here, but
I gotta I gotta get a copy. I gotta get
it's
a
great.
copy of that.
God, Wild Women of Wongo, Tip of My Tongue. That just yeah, Theme Park, Fantastic Blues. It's a great album, but yeah, She's a Beauty. That's their biggest hit, and it's a well
Mm,
deserved hit. And it's a shame. I mean, the Tubes were a great band. They had wonderful musicians. The idea that they would have to have Toto guys come in
yeah,
is kind of messed up, but that's kind of a David Foster play, though. That's his method, for
yeah,
better and for worse. So that's a
yeah.
whole other, we've bitched about
That's a
him.
ball of wax. I mean, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole other ball of wax. I was toying with the idea of doing a Tubes album ranking. Um, if you want in, you let me know off camera, we'll do it. But
All right.
woo wee, yeah, she's a beauty. The Tubes, my number five. Bill.
Excellent. All right. My number four, well, these guys are pretty much a one hit wonder over on this side of the pond as well. But what a hit. What a hit. And it opens with this kind of this, it starts very low volume and then it builds quickly. The our house
Oh my
in the
God.
middle of the street. It's madness.
Yes.
Our house is
Sure
just such
is.
a fun, joyful song. Ah, but yeah, Father wears his Sunday best.
Yeah.
Oh, my tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs.
Oh yeah.
Sister's
Sister
sighing in
singing
her
her
sleep.
sleep.
Brother's got a date to keep. He can't hang around.
Oh my
Our
God.
house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just such a great pop song.
Yeah. When I think of madness, I always think of one step beyond. I mean, it's like that ska tinge track. It's like, okay. Yeah, I got it. No, it's a good one. It's a good one. Um, my number four, this is going to be a switch out. This was going to be an honorable mention, but I'm going to switch it out. My number four is Bonnie Tyler with Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Thank you.
I
I had
do not mean the feeble, and I mean feeble attempt at a single version. I mean the 6 minute, 59-second album version, production by uh, Jim Steinman,
yeah,
featuring Rory Dodd on backing vocals with Turnaround Bright Eyes. Oh, sweet Jesus in heaven. Just a perfect orchestrated piece of work. And I do mean orchestrated because it says directed by Jim Steinman on the album credits. Faster Than the Speed of Night, I believe the album's title. Uh, just a beautifully crafted pop track featuring gorgeous vocals, gorgeous organ that's done on the instrumental breaks. And this track was offered to Meatloaf, but I believe he turned it down because he was doing his album Midnight at the Lost and Found, and he turned it down. Well, you know what? Fuck Meatloaf. Bonnie Tyler, this is yours. Okay? You did a beautiful version to it of it, and it is always going to be your song.
oh yeah,
Jim Steinman would go on to work with Air Supply with Making Love Out of Nothing at All. But to me, this song and the lyric is basically saying a woman who feels that she has reached a point in her life where she feels like she's losing control of everything, and the best moments of her life are done. That she can't make heads or tails of what's going on, and she just is longing for understanding of what is happening to her in her life, and longing for emotional and physical contact with that someone special. And it's gut wrenching when you hear it. Okay.
So she's waiting for it to all blow. There's a living in a powder keg and giving off sparks.
Yes, that she can't control. She feels like she can't control what is going on in her life right now. And she's just waiting for everything to blow up in her face. And she's just looking for the answer. Like the guy the answer to guide her to a safer, sane place for herself. Um, and yeah, and the video takes place of her being a teacher in a school, in a boarding school, and it takes place at night where she's in a dream state. Well, in the video at the end, it's the next day, and she is shaking hands to the students that you know are at the school, and she shakes the hand of the last student, and the student grabs her hand, and she looks up, and he says, "Turn around, bright eyes," and she, okay,
Yeah,
stop, stop.
yeah,
It's hard.
it's a great song.
Oh, I swore I wasn't going to get emotional with this, but
We knew better.
that's my number three.
On a less emotional note for this wonderful song, it's uh, one of my memories of this song is back in 1983. Our crappy little black and white TV that was smaller than today's computer monitors. I got to watch the video for this on the very first episode of Friday Night Videos on the NBC television network here in the States,
Yeah,
which was the MTV for us poor kids who couldn't afford MTV.
that's right.
So it was pretty awesome. So yeah, this will always be connected to Friday Night Videos too. But yeah, the whole song is just wonderful. And Jim Steinman, well, he needs to be remembered a lot more than yeah.
I mean, he did some kitschy stuff. He had an all girl group called Pandora's Box. That was really crappy. But he knew how to craft a good song.
Yeah,
Um,
yes, he did.
and little side note, he got fired off the sessions for with Def Leppard that would eventually become Hysteria.
Would
He
have been very interesting.
Yeah, the story goes quickly was that the band were looking to be, as one photographer called it, they wanted to be the next Queen. They wanted to do everything just perfect, and they didn't want to be signed up with Jim Steinman because but the record company said, the management said, you know what? No, you know what? Bad Out of Hell was a good album, and but then Joe Elliott said, well, wait a minute, Todd Rundgren produced Bad Out of Hell, not Jim Steinman. So it lasted for about 2 weeks. And there was a story where they were in the studio doing something, and Jim Steinman comes over the talk mic. He's like, that was a good take, guys. It's really good. And Joe Elliott said, we were just tuning up the guitars. We're not playing anything. So they went to the management at Q Prime, and they said, we want him out. So they had to pay a lot of money to Steinman to get out of the contract. But anyways, I'm
Maybe
not
it wouldn't have been so interesting if that was his
idea.
involvement. If he was
Yeah,
barely paying attention,
yeah,
theoretically, it sounds like it would have been interesting.
yeah, yeah. But when the band is not interested in working with someone in the first place,
Yeah.
something's going to go wrong. Something is bound to go wrong. So, but again, I'm not one to gossip, so you didn't hear that from me. But anyways, your next one.
All
Number
right, my number three.
three.
We're going back to Australia. um, Down Under. This band was kind of known for their first album. They got the Grammy Best New Artist. It was a huge album called Business as Usual.
Yeah,
Didn't work. But their second album the first single was a lot more serious than songs like Who Can It Be Now and Down Under and Be Good Johnny. It was
Yeah.
called Overkill,
Yeah.
and it's still my favorite Men at Work song. Uh, yeah, Cargo, Men at Work's second album, it had some goofy or lightweight stuff on it too, but the singles I think were maybe a bit weightier with this one in particular. I mean, they also had Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, and of course the very nuclear fear themed "It's a Mistake."
Yeah.
But this, it's just a well flowing, great pop song, but it's again more serious lyrics. I'm going back to these more adult lyrics again.
Yeah.
I can't get to sleep. I think about the complications, diving in too deep. I worry over situations. I know we'll be all right. Perhaps it's just imagination. I mean, yeah, it's this dude inside his own head way
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just overkill, and that's it. Stop living inside your own head so much. Just get out there and live. Stop being so afraid of every little detail.
Hmm.
But aside from the depth of lyrics, though, it really is just a great, catchy song too. Colin Hay did a great job writing this song, and frankly, though I think Business as Usual is probably a better overall album, this is still their best song.
Yeah.
So, Overkill by Men at Work is my number three.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. My number three is Mr. Lionel Richie with You Are.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Yeah. Maybe you'll find there's only one love, yours and mine. I've got so much love. Woo!
Yeah.
All I want is to hold you. Let me show you. It's like, oh
Again
man,
and again and again, babe. Yeah.
you are the sun. You are the
Makes my
woo.
heart
We
foolish play. Oh, yeah.
and then when you go into the middle eight, the bridge section, I know you know the way I feel. I need your love for always.
Always.
Because
Yeah.
when I'm with you, I fall in love again and again and again, baby. It's like, oh, mm. And the production on it, I'm sure Jeff Porcaro's on drums. I'm sure of it. I'm sure the Porcaro brothers are there. I'm sure, and Steve Lukather is in the back somewhere, probably getting, playing rhythm guitar, or whatever. I'm sure he's going to go check, but it's very well.
Let's find out, shall we?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I
Keep
know.
chatting.
I'm just going to say sorry, I was going to say that I just think it's a really well crafted R&B pop song. Uh, Fantastic production. I do believe it's by James Anthony Carmichael as producer. Um, and it was a single, and it was just maybe it wasn't his biggest hit, but you know what? It's the one that I usually go back to.
It's a great song. It was a good one to follow his first official, non-duet solo hit.
Yeah,
Truly, because
yeah,
Truly was like that his traditional ballad.
yeah,
So it was good that he went with a more upbeat, poppy thing for a follow-up.
yeah. Even like lyrics like "Girl, I love you. There's no one above you. You are the sun. You are the rain. You, you
And
woo. I mean, it's just yeah.
the writing credits are Lionel Richie and Brenda Harvey Ritchie.
That was when they were getting along. And go
Yeah,
on.
good. Yeah, I do not see the Toto guys on that song though. So
Okay. Well, I maybe made a mistake, but was it produced by James Anthony Carmichael?
it was let's see, yes, yeah,
Mm.
and he also did the rhythm arrangement, the string and horn arrangement, yeah. So and Richard Marx was one of the people on background vocals many years before Richard Marx himself became a popular artist.
Yeah, he was a session
Interesting.
musician before that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the fun of reading credits, folks.
Oh yeah.
This is
Yeah.
why
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
we keep
No,
the
I
physical media because it's just
mm.
so fun to look through this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's my next one. My number three, you are Lionel Richie from Subtitled. And oh my God, that's such an 80s cover. Jesus Christ.
Yes, look at that sweater. Come on, look at that pose. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, man, comb your hair. Come
And
on.
here we are trying to mimic the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Or the Brooke Shields Jordache jeans commercial. I mean,
True.
and there you go.
Very true.
You know, like, whew, it's okay. So yeah, number three. You are
All
from
right.
Lionel Richie.
Great, great pick. Yeah,
Maybe you'll
he
find. Oh
still
my
had
God.
the songwriting magic when this came out.
Ooh wee. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, my number two. Um, all right, I love this whole debut album from this duo. So it's kind of odd that I'm picking a cover song as my number two, but it's
Okay.
such a great cover. It's always something there to remind me, as done by Naked Eyes.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, I
Yeah. Oh,
walk along the city streets you used to walk
come
along with
with
me.
me. Oh
I
yeah.
can't help
You know
recalling
what? I can't sing for shit,
how.
but I don't give
Yeah.
a shit.
Oh
It's
man.
good. It's like,
Yeah, I still absolutely adore
but
this
how
album
can
and
I?
song.
Yeah. Forget you, girl. I
Yeah,
mean, it's like, oh my God. Yeah.
one of the most perfect cover songs ever. I think they just own this song.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
It is. It's gotta be said. I mean, it's
uh, yeah, when back when me and Stacy and the kids used to play these singing video games, this was one of the songs on it, and back then I could absolutely nail this song and get perfect marks. And yeah,
oh
I don't
yeah.
know about nowadays, but
Well, I mean, before puberty hit, man, I could hit the high notes. When puberty smacked me across the face, my voice went down. I mean, I couldn't do it.
I was already deep well into puberty when this came out, so it was
Oh yeah. No, I get it. I get it. All right. My number two, good song, by the way. And there used to be a record store that was open here called Sound Connection where you could go in on the south side and you could go in and get second, like, used vinyl. And this album was in the section, Naked Eyes was in the section for like a year and I never bought it.
oh
And it was only like 3.99. Stupid me. Anyway, moving on.
that price. I'd buy a second copy now, probably
I
just
know, I
because.
know. My number two, Dexy's Midnight Runners with Come On Eileen. Talk about that violin intro and then the boom, 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 the bass. Whoo, wait, with the banjo and the violin and the live acoustic instrumentation of this track. This was so unlike the 80s in terms of what was going on musically. And of course, this was Dexy's Midnight Runners' only hit in North America. And when it was funny because I was in school one day and somebody turned on the radio during class, which was very rare in the classroom, and this song was playing. I'm like, oh, I've got this song. Because Carmela and Anna and Dora would buy singles all the time, right? And this was one of the singles that Carm bought. And I said to my friend, oh, yeah, no, I like the song. And they're hearing Kevin Dubrow,
Kevin Rowland.
or Kevin Rowland, sorry. Kevin Rowland, my apologies.
Kevin DuBrow is quite right.
Oh, sorry. I knew it was a Kevin. But
Yeah,
man,
it's Kevin's. They're all like.
no, 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 no. Kevin Rowland. I knew it was his vocal, and because the way he sings it, it is so hard to make out the lyrics that you need the lyric sheet. And when my friend heard what I was talking about, he's like, "You're crazy. This song sucks. Like, this isn't good." I'm like, "You don't get it. You really don't get it." Like, and I was like, "What?" I was 12, right? But I love this stuff. And when you listen to the lyrics, he's basically trying to get into Eileen's pants,
Yeah.
right? My thoughts verge on dirty. Come on, Eileen. Like at this moment, you mean everything. Like,
Take off
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, and then there's that breakdown section, like, come on, Eileen, no, 2 a.m. Oh, it's like, when you had a house party in 1982 or 83, this song was on the stereo. Okay. Um, no, there was no question about it. But I mean, in terms of the composition, in terms of the arrangement, it was very un-80s. It was unlike anything else that was on the radio at the time. And it was a hit.
Big hit. Number
Named
one.
like all over the place, you know, 2IA. You know what I mean? So I mean, um,
Poor old Johnny Ray.
yeah, yeah. And you know, Kevin Rowland at one point during one of these 90s, it was a show about the 80s that came out like late 1990. He goes, you know what? I pissed off a lot of people. I fired a lot of people in the band, but you know what? I'm grateful for those royalty checks. Just keep sending me those royalty checks when you put this on a compilation, and I'm happy. You know what I mean? And he's a capitalist. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, Dexys Midnight Runners with Come On Eileen, number two, 1982 or 83, sorry. Never mind.
Well,
1983. There you go.
just a quick side note that I won't go into too much detail for because this is, well, at least nominally a family friendly channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, for Halloween a few years back, Stacy had a rather off color Halloween costume completely based on this song, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Use
Okay,
your imagination, folks.
go on. No, I know what you're. Go on.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on. Your next
Oh,
one.
with the whole story?
No, no, no. The next. Your next
Oh,
pick.
okay. All right, my number one. All right, let's see here.
You're
I think it
flashing your
only be
backside,
it could only be this.
Bill. Pull your pants up when you get up again. Ooh.
It's
Okay.
stepping out. Joe Jackson is my favorite musical artist.
Yeah.
It could only be stepping out for this
Yeah.
year's top
Yeah.
song because this is the song that got me into Joe Jackson, as it is with so many other people. I mean, Breaking Us Into came out and was a hit, and that's the one that put it over the top and made me buy the Night and Day album. And ever since then, I've bought everything the man's put out, and I've been a
Yeah.
huge fan. But Stepping Out is still his biggest hit. Sadly, he had so many other songs that were equally deserving, but it's still just a perfect pop song. It really is. He was
Yeah.
trying to evoke New York City and Cole Porter songs here, and
Yeah.
he nailed it. Uh,
It's that bass line.
yeah, and when we did the concert review, Stacy and I, we went and saw Joe in Chicago last year, and of course, he did a solo version to open the show. It was just him and his keyboard, and he's trying to recreate that bass line on the keyboard while also playing the other parts. And he was kind of taking the piss out of himself, laughing while he was trying to do it and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that iconic bass line it's there, and this
That repetitive, you know, do 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 do. It's like it's just, yeah,
yeah, it's simple but catchy. It
effective.
works, and the lyrics are like Cole Porter, so evocative and just they bring pictures to the mind. I mean, you can dress in pink and blue just like a child. Yeah, I mean, in her yellow taxi, turn to me and smile. Yeah, this now the mist across the line or the mist across. All right, never mind. I'm cluttering my lyrics up here.
It's fine.
So,
Fine.
but yeah, Joe Jackson Stepping Out had to be my number one song for 1982 just because Joe is so important to me. And this is the song that started my journey.
It's fine. It's fine. That's a good one. My number one song for 1983. Well, said 1982 or 1983, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
The Night and Day album came out in 82. That's
There
as
we go.
we
There we
too
go.
early.
My number one song for you see, I'm not the only one that screws up. My number one song for 1983 is Prince with 1999. And I mean the full album version. Now this
Yeah.
is the first time I ever heard of Prince with the video. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Now, this album came out late in 1982. The um the first single that I believe that was released was Little Red Corvette. It didn't do no, it was this song.
Yeah. But it didn't do as
It
well.
didn't do as well, and then they released Little Red Corvette, and then that took off top 10, and then they re-released this song in 83, along with Delirious in North America. But this album, 11 tracks, double album, this version, 6 minutes, 52 seconds, starts off with the low pitch vocals. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I only want you to have some fun. And then the track builds and builds, and then it explodes. Lin drum machine or not, the snare drum is fucking huge. It is thick, it is bouncy. You've got the vocalists, you've got Joe Jones and Lisa Coleman on the duet vocals. You got Des Dickerson, guitarist extraordinaire, on lead vocals, along with Prince. Now, the original idea was to have all three of them, or all four of them, sing the verses, the lines together. Just before they went to record the vocal, he said, "Okay, Jill and Lisa, you sing the first line. Des, you sing the second line. I'll come in on the third." And that's how we're going to do it. And you know what? It works. It works. It is dance, it is R&B, it is funk, it is pop, it's Prince. Okay? And the way this song ends, it ends like with a simulated cymbal crash, and then you hear him come in with a slow, with a tiny kind of like soulful vocal, and it segues into Little Red Corvette. But you know what? This song got your ass shaking. It got your feet tapping. It got your ass shaking. It got you moving, and it's bloody amazing. So that's my number one song for 1983. Prince with 1999.
Great, great song. Yeah, that was the first Prince song when it was the unsuccessful single release
Yeah.
before the Red Corvette. That was the one that brought him to my attention first, and I still love this song. And yeah, it has to be the full. You got to have the whole "mommy, why does everybody have a bomb" and all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because
But even like when
even
they,
though,
yeah, oh yeah, the hand claps and the,
yeah,
party. It's like, oh my God. I mean, like,
it's a party song, but it's also, even though it's a party fun song, it also has this bit of a serious message too. It's talking about
yes.
the end of the world essentially.
Yes, because what happened was the band were on tour for Controversy, and they were at a Holiday Inn, and they had a night off. They had a night after after one of the shows. They went back to the hotel, and they were watching HBO, and there was a documentary on HBO on the end of the world, of what could be the end of the world. And he decided to write a song about this because it scared, according to Lisa Coleman and Des Dickerson, it scared the shit out of him
Scared the shit out of a lot of us.
that this could happen. This was way before the day after that movie that came out about nuclear war. But yeah, it scared the shit out of him. But out came this amazing song. And a little side note, he was rehearsing with Morris Day in the Time at one of the at a warehouse. And when he wrote it, he brought it in and he played it for the band. And Jimmy Jam's like, "When did you write this?" He goes, "Last night." "When did you record this?" "Last night." "You did all this last night?" 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing. Amazing. But yeah, that's my number one. So
Excellent.
your first honorable mention?
My first honorable mention, I'm going back to Australia again. This is a pretty obscure band, actually. As far as I know, this is the only hit they had in North America. It's a band called Moving Pictures, and the song is "What About Me."
Okay.
This is one of those songs that early teen years me, the mopey, oh poor me, I'm a teenager with a hard life, blah blah blah. It hit me right where I lived. It was perfect for,
Yeah.
it's a there's a there's a little boy standing or at the corner of a or at the counter of a corner shop. He's been waiting down there, waiting half the day. This poor little kid's there being ignored all day. Uh, and then it talks about the waitress who's behind the counter.
Yeah.
Uh, being ignored, and they're all waiting for their turn. You know, I'm not too proud to cry out loud. You know, I run to the street and scream, what about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough. I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live, but you just take more than you give. So, you know, for a melodramatic teenager, this was absolutely,
Perfect.
this is my song. Uh,
I
I
get it.
still think it's a beautiful song, if a bit maybe
Melodramatic.
over the top, self pitying, and yeah, but it's still a really lovely song. And I
Yeah.
heard it yesterday, prepping for this for the first time in a long time. And yeah, I still think it's a great song. It just doesn't hit me like it did
Yeah.
at that point in life. But yeah, What About Me by Moving Pictures is my first honorable.
Okay. Good one. My first honorable mention. Sorry, it's only coffee in this mug. My first honorable mention, ladies and gentlemen, is Toto with Africa. This was gonna be in my list, but I thought, you know what? I switched it out with Bonnie Tyler. Bonnie Tyler was gonna be my honorable mention, but I switched it out. This song started out as an instrumental that they were working on. Basically, all they had was like a drum pattern that Jeff Porcaro was working on. It was a drum loop that they had. And, it was like in the old days when they would have like tape running around the studio and around poles and chairs and pencils and to create a drum loop. And they decided to finish off the song and make it a proper song. They had no idea it was going to be a hit. But uh, on the chorus, when the vocals soar, it's just I think it's Bobby Kimball that does that, right? And he's just like, whoo, like he goes ballistic. But and he had a really good soaring quality to his voice at that point. Um, so yeah, that's my first honorable mention. Toto with Africa.
As I mentioned in the previous episode, we were talking about Rosanna. Yeah, I bought the single of Africa when it came out. And
Yeah.
yeah, with Afraid of Love on the flip side. But
Mhm.
yeah, so even though now this is one of those songs that's ubiquitous, it's like the whole new generation has
Yeah.
sucked it right up like it's theirs, the way they did Who's Crying, or not Who's Crying Now, but Don't Stop Believing, and
Yeah.
other songs like that. It suddenly, it kind of puts a different spin on it, but I still feel a certain connection to it because it was such an important song to me
Oh
early
yeah.
on
Yeah.
in my musical journey there. And I still think it's a great song. Just and very weird. Of course, the video was rather sketchy. I'll just leave it at that. Some things that probably would raise some eyebrows nowadays. All these
Yeah.
white boys talking about Africa, and yeah, well, I
Yeah.
won't get into all the details there.
Yeah.
Let's
We
go to
won't even go there.
my number seven here, basically my second honorable mention. I'm going back to a songwriting team plus one douchebag that have all been discussed previously.
More David Foster.
David Foster is the douchebag. He's one of the three songwriters. The other two are Michael McDonald and Kenny, not Rogers, Loggins. uh, yeah, the song is Heart to Heart by Kenny Loggins, with Michael McDonald, of course, on backing vocals.
Of course.
Why didn't these two just form a freaking band?
I know.
They were so great together every time out. They
Mhm.
it's like they could not fail when they got together.
Yeah.
Heart to Heart is such an amazing song. It kind of seems to be a bit forgotten too. I mean, you got weak ass crap like Footloose and Danger Zone. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll die on that hill, folks. Those songs are ass.
Yeah.
They're only big because they were attached to popular movies. Kenny Loggins can do so much better than that crap. Uh, Heart to Heart,
What, you
absolutely.
don't like Footloose? Yeah,
Um,
gotta cut loose, Footloose.
oh
Put
my
on your
God.
Sunday shoes. Louie, Louie. Oh my God.
Some nursery
Shake it
rhyme
for me.
nonsense. You could do so much better.
Oh, Milo. Come on, let's go. Lose your blues,
Uh,
everyone cut foot loose. Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
I'll stick to Heart to Heart.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, and the vocal performance absolutely destroys
Yeah,
anything he did in those soundtrack songs too.
yeah.
Just you ain't crazy, I ain't gonna lie anymore. What you're feeling, there's a reason for. I wanna do right. Ooh, gotta do. I mean, my God, so soulful. And then when you add Michael McDonald on top of that, I'm not even gonna. I can't do Michael McDonald properly.
Don't
There's
even
that
try to grab yourself.
combination of high and deep simultaneously that he does,
Yeah. No, I get it.
that only he does. Yeah, these guys together, it was like a magic recipe. Just
I get
that's
it.
this is the perfect bowl of soup. Now you got them both in there blended,
I
and
get it. I get it. Mm, mm. I get
yeah,
it.
so yeah, Heart to Heart by Kenny Loggins with very important contribution from Michael McDonald, and of course also the douchebag David Foster,
There we go. He
our
said it,
favorite
folks. I
whipping boy.
didn't. Not much anyway, but yeah, no, I get it.
We've talked so much shit about David Foster on so many shows.
Oh,
The
he
dude
deserves it.
was he's involved in a lot of great music, but he's a sketchy guy. I'll just
He's
leave it
he's
at
full of himself. I just
that.
never mind. Okay. This is something. My second honorable mention is a two-way tie. I've never done this before,
Ah,
but I cheating because I
because
can.
you can.
I can.
It's your show.
Um, it's a two-way tie for the last choice. First one is Journey with Faithfully, a, a beautiful love song with the lead-off lyric, Highway runs into the midnight sun. I'm not going to go through all the lyrics, but it's basically he's talking about missing his wife or his girlfriend when he's on tour and having to come back home from being on tour for like 6 months to a year and to have to reacquaint yourself with your life prior to being on tour. Um, two, two strangers learn to fall in love again. I get the joy in rediscovering you.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. Being apart ain't easy on this love affair. That's the lead. That's the first part of that lyric. Two strangers learn to fall in love again. It's like, okay, where do you go from there lyrically? And then you go to I get the joy in rediscovering you.
It was a great
Girl,
lyric.
if you stand by me, I'm forever yours faithfully. It's like, okay, Elvis has left the building. We're done. You know, I just think it's beautifully crafted. I think it's fantastic. Even though, the other song on the album, Separate Ways, which was a bit of a track over time and doesn't hold up as it did before, as faithfully does. And there was a story that when Prince wrote Purple Rain, he sent Purple Rain to Jonathan Cain for his approval because he realized that there were some chord structures in the song of in Purple Rain that were similar to Faithfully. And Steve Perry tells a story. He sent us the song. We heard it. Yes, the chord structures are the same, but you know what? What the fuck? It's a good song. Purple Rain is a fantastic song. They wrote him back, release it. You have to. He did. It was a hit. But, and I'm happy to hear that, Prince was worried about releasing it. Like, am I going to get clobbered with plagiarism here? Like, am I going to be called out? So I don't think that if he didn't get Jonathan Cain and Steve Perry's permission, he wouldn't have released it that way. Like he would have re-recorded it. But it's a fantastic song nonetheless. And it's my other honorable mention, the tie. The other one is Def Leppard with Photograph. You can, you know what? Rock of Ages, Stage Fright, Rock Till You Drop. That's fine. But you know what? Photograph, track two, side one from Pyromania. Woo wee! I mean, that was when I first connected the dots with who Def Leppard were. And I've always loved this song. And I thought it was melodic as all get out. It was heavy as all get out. Uh, it had the punch, it had the hook to it. And all I want is your photograph. It's not enough.
I want to touch it. Yeah.
And then it comes in and then he does the scream over the top. And it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I would not even attempt that scream. Nope.
Even if I could grab myself, I couldn't even do that scream. But um, I just think it's a really well crafted rock track. And regardless what they would do moving forward, this was when they could kick ass in terms of rock. I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to get into Hysteria and what was going on with that, releasing seven singles. Fuck that. For one album.
Disagree.
Never mind.
Different show.
Um, but I just think that this is a perfect example of a good rock song.
Yeah.
Melodic and punchy and hooky. It's Def Leppard. It's Photograph. Enough said. No.
Um, it's, not far from the time when I bought the Africa single, I also bought the Photograph single with Action Not Words on the B side before I actually bought the full Pyromania album. But yeah, so obviously I liked it too. This was the really the only year that I ever bought 45 singles before I just said, you know, why am I wasting my time? I end up buying the albums anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
but I bought a few.
this also featured keyboard work from Thomas Dolby,
Thomas got around in those days.
who at the time had hits with She Blinded Me with Science and Submarines and Hyperactive. He would come out in '84 with Hyperactive, which Jim Berker um, recommended that album to me with Hyperactive, and I got to listen to it still. But yeah, no, that's
My favorite is his 2011 album, but that's the last one he's put out. Yeah, it's been 14 years. He needs to put out another one, but that's
I got
that's a whole other topic.
I got to
Again,
listen to that. Okay, thank you for that recommendation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Running back through the '80s, 1983. I want to thank Bluebeard, otherwise known as Bill Schuster, for coming along with me on this ride. It's been fucking hilarious. It's been fun. I'm Armando Venditti, otherwise known as Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and we will be back with running back through the '80s with 1984. But before we go, please put down in the comments below your pick for 1983. Could be five, could be 10, could be one. Whatever songs that you want to talk about, any genre. We've covered the gamut with it, you know, with the exception of chamber music on this channel. So
we
no
could do that.
no genres are off limits. So please again click like and subscribe and put the click notification bell, sorry, to keep yourselves on top of any new content I've got coming up. And please look after yourselves and one another. We will be back with running back through the '80s with 1984. Bye for now.